this is your dream. She's like, you can't put a price tag like on your dream. She's like, you can't ignore that. What if this never comes to, to you again in your lifetime? She's like, you gotta take it. I have a friend of mine who was funny because just a couple weeks prior to that, she's like, you should write. And I'm like, I don't write. I don't even like to read poetry. Like, I don't write. And I think that what that was just by me saying that, it kind of shut down a really deep hidden desire of always wanting to do that. But it was like the reasonable part of me was just like, no. You don't do that. You're a mother of 3, and this is your life. So you're a background singer at a local church. You help out, here and there, and that's what you do. So we gave it about a month to think about, and just looking at how much of a responsibility that was going to take on. It was a lot to cover, if you will, financially and all the other aspects of it, and just I knew it was going to take time-wise and all that. And I was on the phone with my mom. And I was like, I don't know, Mom. I'm like, we'd be getting a house, we could be paying down debt, we could be doing all this stuff, but I had this thing in front of me that it just won't go away.
We talked about it and we're like, I think we should do it. Did this, there are a lot of stories about her, but because our lives intersected, they became stories about us and things that we've both gone through as a married couple, as with our kids, and stories that you had from just being you before I knew you. And it was really fun to do it together, to be in the process of sharing the writing and the song that we wrote. The chemistry seemed to flow better and better each time.
My dad was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma just a couple months prior to that, and so I had a lot of just this emotion deep inside of frustration, fear. I didn't know what was going to happen. It seemed like they had a pretty good lid on it at the time, but it was just like, what do I do with this, And so I thought, writing is going to be a perfect outlet for this, things that happened in my past. I'm like, I need to flush this out somehow. And so it was like, I knew it would almost be cathartic in a way.
You never know when it's your turn in the waiting room, when you get to come out, when you get great news, or when you get waiting to find out if it's bad news. But either news, we all go through it, and that's really what this project is about.
I want people to find a piece of it, a lyric, something that they could take home with them and be like, yeah, me too, I get that, And if anything, if it's life-changing, great. If it's not and just stays in their head for 3 days or whatever, then that's great. But if anything, it's, I'm looking for people that I can relate to, that they can relate to me, and be like, hey, we're all in this together. My favorite line that pretty much sums the whole thing up, it's in the song called A Long Way Around, and it's, this rocky path you stumble on is narrow but northbound. So keep going even if it's the long way around. It's like a roller coaster. There's a high of, yeah, my family's here, my dad's here, and it's a low of, my dad's here, and he's fighting the battle of his life. At this point in time, the doctors have given him 2 months to live. It's one of those moments that you're like, I don't know if I'm going to have this with you again. And so to even be there, if anything, if the rest, as happy as I am to see everybody, but even if the rest of the crowd goes away, it's just me and him for that one moment, that's going to be it. I hope he's proud of me. Always strong.